Okay, in all of my wildlife areas, my deer areas, where my food plots, where I've planted trees, or I've got good cover, I've went somewhere in the vicinity of the food plots and the cover and the water. Within 100 yards of the deer stands and the food plots, I've planted Dunstan chestnuts. And Dunstan chestnut trees are a tree that they come out of Georgia and Florida, I believe. And there's a website called chestnuthill.com. I called them and I ordered these chestnut trees. I ordered roughly 75 chestnut trees, and in at least every food plot I've put a minimum of 6 Dunstan chestnut trees in around that general area of feed. The main reason I did that is I have talked to several people around the southern United States that have told me how good chestnut trees are for the deer. And it's kind of they've been doing it for years, but there's just now kind of coming on of chestnut growth. Main reason being is in the early 20th century, early 1900s, there was a blight that came through a fungus that originated out of China by bringing in the Chinese chestnut trees. It came in and it killed the American chestnut trees out all over the southern United States. They lost large areas of chestnut trees, and over the years, I believe what I had read was 1 in 4 trees in the southern United States, and that's a lot of trees, was a chestnut tree. So somewhere in the early 1900s, a man found a grove of American chestnuts growing up into the mountains somewhere in the southern United States, and got some trees, some saplings off of those, and crossed them with Chinese chestnut to build up their immunity to the fungus that was carried in by the Chinese chestnut. And so now today, Chestnut Hill Outdoors, are a nursery that sells these Dunstan chestnuts, or American chestnuts, to people all over the nation. They're starting to plant them in bigger groves. They're producing them. It's becoming a agricultural product to be sold all over the United States. But I liked it for the wildlife side of everything. What I've read and what I've researched, it looks like that chestnut trees was the first thing that a deer liked to eat, a wildlife liked to eat, deer liked to eat, and acorns were secondary. They say that on chestnut trees that deer will prefer them 100 times to 1 over a white oak tree. Chestnut trees also put out chestnuts after 3 to 5 years of growth. They start putting out chestnuts, and they put off every year, and a larger volume of chestnuts per tree than what an acorn tree will do. Acorns only, I think they, some years they'll skip 2 and 3 years depending on the species. They won't put out every year, but these put out every year and more palatable to the deer. So I've went through and planted them. This white stake that's around them, this was recommended by Chestnut Hill Outdoors to put around the trees. Basically, it protects them from the deer, because the deer are going to come in and browse the leaves. They love the leaves off of it. So the bushier it is, the deer will come in and eat the leaves. It's also a soft mass tree, so they'll come in and rub on them. It'll be one of the first places that they'll come in and rub, and it'll kill the tree. So this protects the tree from getting killed out early, but it also makes it a little bit of a greenhouse. It absorbs more sunlight and keeps the elements off of it, but it makes a good greenhouse for the winter time for it to really get that root mass built into the soil. So this tree here, it was planted in November of this last year, so it's roughly 6 months old. They recommend these, and I recommend them for any fruit tree that you plant, just to help it survive that first year. But they recommend that the tree stay in this till it grows all the way out and becomes the same size as the inside of this, and you may have to cut this off, or it may fall off on its own and you throw it away. So this is a really good product that I like to use on the chestnut trees.